Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be fun to talk about my favorite YouTubers, and I hope you can also share yours. And I want to start off with female YouTubers. And I have some goodies that I've been watching for years that I wanted to share with you about. If you see me looking down here, I have a couple of notes. I just didn't want to miss any of my beauties that I absolutely love and enjoy. But one that I have really been enjoying, especially since posting videos on YouTube here, is Prepper Princess. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, but I just think she's so cool. She is quirky. She is rough around the edges. She's a straight shooter. And of course, she's a prepper. And I just think that's funny. I remember when I first came about her, I was like, oh, what is Prepper Princess? What does that mean? And I actually had to look up prepping, which seems to be a bit of a thing in the US. I don't know if it's practiced elsewhere. So that was fun for me to actually find out what she actually does and what she's about. And of course, I've enjoyed following her and watching her videos. But since I've started posting videos on this platform, I have also gone to her to just see how she does her videos. And she has been such a great inspiration. I love that she is pretty, what's the word, down to earth in a video recording, pretty but formal at the same time. Down to earth but formal at the same time. Like formal maybe might not be the word, professional is the word. And I just love how she obviously records her dogs at the end of the videos. I just think it's just so much fun. Another female YouTuber that I've thoroughly enjoyed is Tony Davey. I love her. Love you, Tony, all the way from Australia. I've watched you for years, and she is good fun. I just like her approach to life. Some things, she says, I'm like, oh, Tony, I disagree with you. But she just does it in a way, well, the way she lives her life is just so encouraging. She lives it with no apologies to anybody. She educates fiercely. She's a bold champion of other people. She champions women. She champions Black women. She is just pretty cool. So I like her. And I've also enjoyed the Gabe Fix through Gabe Babe TV. I love Gabe. She's so cool. She doesn't always post as much on the Gabe Fix, but I guess I get my fix of her on the Gabe Babe TV. I love her, of course, and her husband. I think they're very, very cool as well. The other person that I have watched from years ago is Shameless Maya. And I remember thinking, when she first cut off her hair and, she was telling her story at that time of what had happened to her and what she was going through and how she was living her life unapologetically. I always have to think about word before I actually say it. And I just thought, oh, she was the coolest, YouTuber I could think of at the time. I'm probably talking about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, ages ago. So a good little while ago, before she got married and, lives in Sweden with her beautiful husband now. But, this is when she was based in the US. I think she's originally from Canada and then moved to the US. And I just remember thinking she is the coolest of people that I've ever met. And that in her story, I couldn't quite tell, like she was very philosophical, but I couldn't actually quite tell what sort of, I guess, belief she had. And I remember maybe she may have mentioned that she was brought up Catholic or something like that. I just remember thinking, God, she's such a cool girl. I just pray that she really comes to know you, because it sounded like she had been brought up in the faith, but then was doing her own thing. And I am so glad that she talks about Christ now. She has been born again. I thank God for her. She's such an inspiration and just such an encouragement as well of how God can actually impact lives even here online. That is just incredible. And she has done a couple of videos where she talks about people were praying for her. And I'm sure her mom was praying for her. I do believe that, her mom is a Christian and had brought her to faith, maybe when she was little. I mean, I might be getting that wrong, but how cool is that, And now she's even more shameless about Christ. So you go, girl. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the other person that I'm into is Rebecca, your realtor. And I got onto her through her sister. And you know what? I don't even really recall that original channel. But she's another cool one that I've just really gotten into. And, she was single. She's a realtor. She's a girl boss. Love it for her. Kicking some serious goals. I just think she's so cool. And has, since been married and she's expecting her first baby. So that's very exciting, just following that story and see where God takes her with that. So those are definitely my top 4 female YouTubers. And I have some occasional ones that I watch as well. Sorrel, and I think her name is Amor or Amore. I don't know if she's Italian background or anything like that, but she is incredibly cool. She was somewhere in Europe for a good little while. I don't think it was Sweden. It was some other European country, somewhere Nordic, beautiful. I just remember her videos would have all these wonderful pine trees and just beautiful lakes and icy places. Iceland. She may have been in Iceland. I think she was. And she's back in Australia, so she's Australian. Love her. Fellow Aussie. And I just think she's beautiful. And she has. I was going to say retire. Well, retired early. She's part of that. Retire early movement. FIRE. What is it? Financial independence, retire early, which I have dabbled in as well. Well, I definitely follow people who are from that sort of like realm and just enjoy, learning about financial education, being financially free, having the freedom to do whatever. And that's what she's doing. So she's definitely a girl boss, that one. She has retired. She's only 30-something, young 30-something. And she is, like I was actually looking at her channel today and she says, I've retired at whatever age it was and I just do whatever I like, right now. I'm thinking, that is fabulous. I just think it's incredible. I would like to do that. So you are such an inspiration, Sorrel. But these are my occasional ones. Wonderful X is another one that I quite enjoy. It is by Alyssa Dene. Her name is. She is just beautiful. She's beautiful. Well, not only is she physically beautiful, and these are all stunners that I'm talking about, ladies. I'm talking about all my female stunner YouTubers, okay? But Alyssa is gorgeous inside and out, and her story is just powerful. She is not ashamed of Christ, and I just love and appreciate that about her. So she's my occasional one. I'll go, pop in there and just see what she's doing. She recently had a baby, so I guess that's what filling up her days. But she always comes up with powerful stories. She tells you about how she gave birth, miracle birth stories. How God brought her husband to her. She just talks about the wonderful acts of God, and I just love and appreciate that she is so bold in her faith and walk with Christ. So again, keep it up. Wonderful X. I just, you bless other people without even knowing sometimes, blessing others from a distance. So thank you for your faithfulness. The other person that I like is, I'm not too familiar with Melody Alyssa. I have come across her channel and I do believe she maybe used to have a different name. And all of these channels, I use them on my personal channel. my personal login, which is not my channel login. So that might confuse things a little bit. But anyway, that's, I have two YouTube channels just so that one is my watching one, and the other one recently is my content creation one. So I've had to separate them. Anyway, love Melody. She's sweet. She's very beautiful. Another child of God, fellow Christian who was bold, brave, beautiful, and declaring the goodness of God in her life. So I really do appreciate her. Kelly Steps. She's a wild one, this one. I just think she is pretty cool. Again, I watch her occasionally. She just does wild videos, and I just think she's mad crazy in a beautiful sort of way. She teaches in a, sort of like comedic sort of way. She rebukes in a comedic sort of way. She inspires in a just girl boss sort of way. And good on you, Kelly, for just, setting your trend and not following the trends out there. I just think that's beautiful. I think those are the occasional ones. And then I have some new ones that I've sort of like just check out every so often. DoorDash, because I guess as a new creator over here, content creator, she's been inspiring. Her story has been very inspiring, how she just was doing what she was doing, recording herself in the car, and came out, made a couple of videos on YouTube, and the rest is pretty much history. So you go, girl. Absolutely. You're such an inspiration. Another one that I've come across in the last couple of weeks actually is Speak New Life Coaching. And this, I don't think I even know her name. I came across her through her story about how she met her husband, who is American, and she's in the UK, like I said. She's very cool. I love her. So I just really like how she is moving on YouTube. Very gentle, very easygoing, very humble, but just doing the things. She is doing the things for Christ and for others, and I love it. There is a bit of a common theme here about Christians, but no, it's not always Christians that I watch. I just love people who are inspiring. These just happen to be a fair few of them Christian, but not everybody is Christian. Not everybody is Christian. Anyway, Anita Achiampong. I hope I'm saying that. She's my Nigerian sister that I've come across here on YouTube. She's also just starting out. And I have been inspired by her because she's regularly posting videos. Nothing has discouraged her. She keeps pushing through, recording, uploading, just publishing. And I just really admire her. I admire you, Anita, if you get to watch this video. I just think you're pretty cool. So keep up the good work. I have come to appreciate how hard it is because, when you're watching videos here on YouTube, you actually don't really think about the work that has gone into it. But do I have a new appreciation? I do. So good on you, and keep up the great work, Anita. And last but not least, of the ones that I put down is Han London, affiliated with her boyfriend / husband-to-be. They call each other husband and wife, but they're still to marry. Anyway, they're sweet young couple somewhere in the US. Where are they? Anyway, they're pretty sweet. A little bit wild, a little bit out there, but just beautiful. Again, they're doing their thing, and I love that. And, I love actually seeing stories like that because you get to actually see how people grow as people and on their channels. And it's really exciting to see. So I am very excited for her and her husband-to-be. And I really pray that they have a beautiful, wonderful, grounded marriage. And happy. Eyes watering. I think that's it. that's it for my female YouTubers. I would be keen to know who yours are. You know, the females that are inspiring you out there, entertaining you and inspiring you. But yeah, it's definitely beautiful to watch people's stories and their journeys, and you know, not only be entertained by it, but be inspired by it and be spurred on to do the things in your life that you're wanting to do for your life. So these have been a few of my inspirations, and yeah, let me know whose yours are. And yeah, if any of you, my favorite YouTubers, watch this one, much love from Australia. I certainly have journeyed with quite a few of you for a good little while, and I have just really truly enjoyed your stories. Your stories are pretty powerful. Your channels are pretty powerful, and you know, I just really hope you continue to do the wonderful thing you're doing, and you continue to be kicking some serious boss moves, and yeah, conquering your worlds and conquering the world. Absolutely. So yeah, much love, much love. Anyway, for everybody else, I will see you. Oh my goodness. I have a new favorite female YouTuber as well. Wink, wink. I can't really wink, wink, wink. And that's Poured Out. And that happens to be a lovely little channel that's growing by the grace of God. That, yeah, I think it's quite all right, if I say so myself. So check that out if you haven't already, obviously. But if you're watching this video, then you have already checked it out. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.